Do-it-yourself education fund para sa anak mo. Paano ba gawin yan? Let's talk about that in this video. Hello everyone and welcome to this video. Ang pag-usapan natin today ay paano ba mag-invest? Ano ba yung magandang strategy para makapag-prepare ka for the education of your child? So basically, we will be talking about how to prepare for your child's education expenses. And katulad ng mga previous financial planning videos natin, gagamitin natin yung mga financial functions na meron sa Excel. And pati yung goal seek gagamitin natin today. So kung hindi nyo pa napapanood yon, hanapin nyo lang yung how to invest and prepare for your retirement na financial planning video natin para mas ma-orient kayo at magkaroon kayo ng introduction dito sa mga financial functions at yung goal seek na function sa Excel. So of course, magsisimula tayo sa Excel and I will share yung ating pinipare na Excel worksheet for today. We will start with the age of our child. Itong gagawin natin, it's just for one child. So kung marami kang anak, you can just do this multiple times and just add all the figures in the end. So for example, our child is currently at 2 years old. So naka-recover na siguro tayo sa gastos dun sa pregnancy and birth and hopefully we are preparing for the education ng anak natin. So when we input the age of our child na 2 years old, ang first na kinumpute natin is yung years before grade school or sabihin na natin grade 1. I'm assuming na 6 years old siya magi-grade 1. So yung 4, that's YG, years before grade school. Ang i-research nyo ngayon ay magkano ba yung annual tuition do sa target na grade school natin. Currently, ang nakita ko, ang average tuition in a private school per year is around 50,000 pesos. Siyempre, i-adjust yun na to. Depende kung magpa-public school, then hopefully libre and wala tayong masyadong gastos kung magpa-public school. And I think that's also a good option if you really have a tight budget. Nothing wrong with sending your child to public school. Marami akong kilala matatalino, magagaling na nag-aral sa public school. After that, we compute how many years before magka-college yung anak natin. So from grade 1 to grade 12, then by that time na graduate siya ng senior high school, 18 years old na siya and that's 16 years from today. So YC. The next step is to input yung annual tuition ng target college or university natin. So itong mga figures ng annual tuition, this is the current rate. So pwede na kayong magtanong magkano ba yung annual tuition dyan sa university or dyan sa college na gusto nyong pumasok. Siyempre, this is so far into the future but hopefully meron tayong dreams and aspirations for our child na gusto ko dito ko siya pag-aaralin. Currently, ang nakikita kong good estimate is 300,000 per year. This is not just the tuition. Sa tingin ko, pwede na rin i-include dito yung mga school expenses, libro, uniform, etc. Kasi most colleges naman, especially in the provinces, mas mura pa sa 300,000 yung magagastos mo per year kapag doon nag-aral yung anak mo. So, adjust this according to where you are and how much is the tuition doon sa malapit na college or preferred na college mo for your child. Yung inflation rate, isi-set natin at 5%. This is my personal preference. According to inflation reports, usually ang tuition sa mga private school around 8 to 10% per year yung increase. Pero sa mga public schools and state universities, mga around 2 to 3%. But you can definitely adjust this as the years go by. But for now and for the purpose of our illustration, let's set it at 5%. Then using our formula, we can compute for our inflation-adjusted annual tuition. First, at the age of 6, pagpasok niya ng grade school. And then, at the age of 18, pagpasok niya ng college. So yung 50,000 per year na gastos today sa grade school, magiging 60,700 plus na siya in 4 years time. Kasi 2 years old pa lang ngayon. And then by the time na graduate siya ng senior high school, yung tuition na 300,000 pesos per year dati, ngayon, after 16 years, magiging 654,800 plus per year na siya. Laki, di ba? Kaya kailangan maaga talaga tayong mag-prepare for the education of our children. The next step is to go to the education cash flow. This is the simulation. Paano ba gagalaw yung pera natin? So, meron akong sinet up dito. Again, we carried over yung inflation na 5%. Yung pera na ini-invest natin, especially during the time na nag-aaral na siya, pwede pa rin natin siyang i-invest sa mga low-risk investment, time deposit, money market fund, because sayang pa rin yung kikitain niya di ba? So, yung education fund, this is our first target. Dalawa kasi yung target natin. Yung fund by the time na mag-start siya ng grade school, at yung fund by the time na mag-start siya ng college. So, yung grade school, green, tapos yung college, orange. This is just a simulation, kaya may mga red yan kasi hindi pa natin siya na-perfect. Itong additional fund sa gilid, I will explain that later. So, we start with our education fund by the time na pumasok siya ng grade school. Random ko lang na sinet yung 100,000. So, meron tayong 60,700 plus na expenses, which is galing doon sa na-compute natin na inflation-adjusted na annual tuition. So, from that, mababawasan yung 100,000 na balance natin, magiging 39,224 na lang. Siyempre, naka-invest pa rin naman yan. So, meron tayong 4% na investment return. And at the end of it, at the end of the year, meron tayong 40,000 na pera na magki-carry over sa next year. Ngayon, bakit naging 63,000 siya? Kasi meron tayong additional fund na nakalagay dito. This is the assumption na, syempre, nagtatrabaho ka pa niyan So, yung additional na kinikita mo, a portion of that, you can still add it to the education fund. So, let's just say na per year, meron kang 22,000 plus na set aside for your child's education, dadagdag yan dun sa end of the year na 40,000. So, 63,436 pesos ang education fund mo pagdating niya ng grade 2. So, again, you have your expenses, mababawasan siya, mag-earn ng interest, etc. But, since nag-negative na to, it means na kulang yung 100,000. So, let's just set it at a good amount. Sabihin na natin na 500,000. So, again, this is just random number. Ko-compute natin yan later. So, nung sinet natin siya ng 500,000, yung first goal seek natin, ito yung by the time na graduate siya ng grade school, meron tayong natitira at actually tumaas yung pera natin. So, ibig sabihin, sobrang laki nitong 500,000 which is okay because gagamitan natin siya ng goal seek later para mapababa. Yung additional fund, nag-a-adjust, mamaya i-explain ko sa inyo yan. We also do the same for the college. So, mapapansin nyo, yung expenses, ito yung naset dun sa inflation-adjusted na annual tuition. Pagdating ng college, bakit siya naging 654? Kasi nakaset din siya dun sa na-compute natin na inflation-adjusted annual tuition by the time na pumasok siya ng college. And the simulation is the same, but this time, let us again input a number na target natin na education fund. This is just a random number just to get us started. Ayan. Ang goal natin when we are inputting itong random numbers na education fund is to see everything na positive. Okay? But it doesn't really matter kung gaano kalaki, basta positive siya lahat because the goal here is itong first GS, first goal seek. So if we use yung ating goal seek function or tool sa Excel, gusto natin by the end of grade school, ubos na yung education fund natin para na-maximize natin. At we set the cell to 0 by changing yung starting fund natin. So pag kinumpute natin yan, 0 na siya. We also do the same for the college era. Ayan, era talaga. So let's just set it to 0 by changing this. By doing this, makikita natin na kailangan natin by the start of grade school ng 267,930.67. So, if we have this much money by the time na mag-start siya ng grade school, then we will be able to fund the whole grade school education or at least yung tuition ng anak natin. Such that, by the time na graduate siya ng grade school, depleted na yung education fund natin, which is what we want dahil we also want to optimize yung ating strategy. Pag college, nako, medyo malaki, 2.5 million plus. But assuming that your child will take a 4-year course, by the time na graduate siya ng college, ubos na rin yung education fund natin. We work with the initial number na 267,000 for the grade school at saka yung 2.5 million para sa college. So let's go to the grade school. So hopefully may recall yung color coding natin kasi green, no? We use yung ating PMT na function, financial function sa Excel. Again, these are the meaning of the terms. Ito yung ating PMT formula. The present value, assuming wala ka pa talagang naihahanda today, is 0. The investment rate is 4%. So 4% lang for grade school. Bakit? Kasi assuming you start at the age of 0, yung anak mo mag-enter ng grade school in 6 years time. And para sa akin, medyo medium term na yon. Pwede nga i-consider na short term. So, we don't want to invest in a very high risk investment. Kasi baka mamaya magkaroon ng down cycle yung market. And by the time na pumasok ng grade school yung anak natin in 6 years time, baka bagsak yung investments natin. So, we will be conservative pagdating sa pag-i-invest for the grade school education fund. But later on, you'll see that pagdating sa college education, we can be aggressive about it and we can invest it in a high-risk investment. So, for the grade school education fund, gagawin lang natin siyang, lalagay lang natin siya sa low risk. So, 4% ang investment rate na preferred natin. And then, years, yung NPER, yung years before they enter yung grade school, which is 4 years kasi naset natin na 2 years old ngayon yung anak natin. And then yung future value, which is what we computed dito sa first goal seek natin na 267,000, yun yung ilalagay natin dito. So by using the formula, yung PMT function, we will see na kailangan natin mag-invest ng 60,668 per year in an investment that earns 4% per year para makuha yung ating target amount pagdating sa age 6. Ngayon pupunta naman tayo sa college. So we are now building our college fund for our child. Again, yung present value natin is 0. However, the investment rate is 8% kasi ito medyo long term natin i-build so we can put it in a higher risk investment. The number of years before they enter college is 16 years kasi 2 years old yung sinet natin na age yung anak natin. And then yung future value which is 2.5 na compute natin galing dito sa inflation adjusted na rate. So by using yung ating PMT function, lalabas na 78,829 per year yung dapat nating i-invest. Ang magiging monthly niyan ay 6,569.10. Let's go back doon sa ating education cash flow to explain ano ba tong additional fund na to. Okay? So itong 267,930.67, yan yung target amount na kailangan natin i-build for the grade school. Itong investment strategy natin, today, we should start investing 5,055.69 or 60,668 per year. Yun yung lalabas na additional fund dito. The same with the college, yung 78,000 dito, yun yung lalabas dito. The thing is, pagdating niya ng college, meron na tayong ganitong amount and then magkakaroon tayo ng expenses, but hopefully, we will continue investing this amount, itong 5,000 per month or 60,000 per year, to augment yung education fund natin. That's why 267 minus yung expenses sa 60,000, ito yung matitira sa fund natin, 207. Magkakaroon siya ng investment return na 4% or around 8,000. Ito yung bagong fund value natin pag inad na natin yung kinita sa investment. And then, ito yung additional na pera na ininvest natin, 60,000. So, by grade 2, yung 215,000 plus 60,000, magiging 276,000. So, this will continue. Siyempre, yung expenses tumaas dahil nagkaroon ng inflation, 5%. So, mas tataas yung expenses every year hanggang sa, if all goes well and all goes according to our calculation, then, by the time na graduate siya ng grade school, depleted na yung education fund natin, which is good. Yung pang-college naman ng anak natin, hopefully, by the time na dumating ng 18 years old yung anak natin, nag-grow na rin yung education fund natin ng 2.5 million. And how did we achieve that 2.5 million? By investing 78,829 per year. So again, you have to start investing this amount today. Kasi yan yung magko-compound dun sa investment para ma-achieve yung target amount natin. Better if you can do it monthly, 6,500 per month. And katulad nung ginawa natin dun sa grade school, once na ma-achieve natin yung amount na yan, that will be what our fund for our child's college education. Nababawasan yan, but it will still earn an investment return na 4% kasi nasa low risk siya. Tapos yung nakasanayan natin na ini-invest, hindi natin ititigil yon kasi pwede siyang pandagdag dun sa education fund for the succeeding years. So magiging 2.082 na to kasi by the end of the first year college, 2.003 na lang. Plus yung nakasanayan mong 78,000 na sinisave and ini-invest, idagdag mo na yan para maging 2.082. And by simulating this, by the time na graduate yung anak natin ng 4-year course sa college, doon sa preferred college natin, ubos na rin yung ating college fund, which is how we optimize our cash flow. So, if we summarize, yung monthly investment for the grade school tuition is 5,055 per month na galing yan dito. Okay? And then, para sa college tuition, it's 6,500 per month. Which means you need to start investing 5,055 per month in an investment that grows 4% per year for 4 years and until your child finishes grade school. Yung 4% na to, pwede tong time deposit or money market fund or any low-risk investment na on average, historically, ang performance niya ay 4%. Pwede bang MP2? I don't think so kasi 4 years na eh. Siguro kung if you have 5 years, if your child is just 1 year old, then probably pwede. Aside from this, you're preparing for your child's college education, and in that case, you need to start investing 6,569 per month in an investment that grows 8% per year for 16 years and until your child graduates from college. So tuloy-tuloy din siya. You start now and you continue until your child graduates from college. Kung i-add natin to, mako-compute natin that you'll be investing around 11,500 or 11,624 per month. This is a conservative calculation and it really depends dun sa estimate natin magkano ba yung annual tuition dun sa schools na preferred natin today. But this will give you an idea na kailangan talagang mag-budget. Kailangan natin pag-aralan yung gastos natin and probably prepare to earn a higher salary, find ways to earn extra income or build multiple sources of income para ma-afford natin yung education fund. Itong 11,000, kung assuming hindi mo siya kayang i-invest ngayon, okay lang dahil you will always have several years, especially for the college education, to increase your salary, increase your cash flow. Doon mo na lang siya babawiin. So, sabihin natin na ma-promote ka 3 years, 4 years from now at nagkaroon ng malaking jump yung salary mo, then instead of investing 11,000, since na-miss mo siya yung first few years, siguro itaas mo siya maging 16,000. And you can always go back to this process para i-compute kung magkano ba talaga exactly yung kailangan mong i-invest to achieve yung mga target amount mo. Lastly, special note, kailangan mong kumuha ng term insurance na ang death benefit ay 2.849 million. Itong 2.8 million, galing ito dun sa total na kailangan mong education fund. Inad ko lang tong dalawang ito. That's how I was able to arrive at 2.849 million. Kukuha ka ng term insurance para meron kang financial protection or merong financial protection yung anak mo. Just in case na may mangyari sa'yo, knock on wood. Special note na term insurance lang yung kailangan mong kunin kasi unang-una mas mura yan. Pangalawa, hindi mo kailangan yung ganito kalaking amount na death benefit for your whole life. Ang pinoprotektahan mo dito ay yung education fund lang ng anak mo. So pag graduate na yung anak mo ng college, bawas na rin yung requirement mo for financial protection. So pwede nang hindi i-renew yung term insurance. Currently may mga term insurance na good for 10 years. I'm not sure if meron pa rin yung good for 20 years, but I think okay yung 10-year na term insurance. So you just have to renew it once and then after that, pwede mo na siyang hindi i-renew. Kasi ang pinoprotektahan mo lang dito again is yung education fund ng anak mo. Which means you should probably get a separate insurance policy kung magpe-prepare ka for your estate planning, para sa ibang mga goals mo and you want to protect that, especially your mga financial dependents mo, then you can get a separate insurance policy for that. I hope ay malinaw yung pagkaka-explain ko kung paano ba mag-prepare for your child's college education. And I hope ay may mga nakuha kayong mga strategy. Kung meron kayong tanong or gustong linawin dun sa ginawa natin, you can just ask it sa ating comment section. Sa mga magre-request nung kopya ng Excel file, i-prepare ko lang yung portal kung saan siya pwedeng ma-download and I will surely announce it in the near future kung paano siya ma-download. But I actually recommend na gawin nyo siya on your own kasi mayroon ding learning experience at ma-upskill pa yung kaalaman nyo pagdating sa Excel if you try to duplicate what we did. So maraming salamat sa panonood nitong ating video. I hope ay nakasubscribe na kayo sa ating YouTube channel, youtube.com/readytoberichyt, and nakafollow sa ating Facebook page na facebook.com/readytoberich. Hanggang sa susunod ulit nating video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye!